right, ladies and gentlemen, once again we welcome you to the Sports Center of Las Vegas, Nevada for the final bout in the opening round of the Showbox Super Middleweight Tournament, presented by Gary Shaw Productions in association with Round One Entertainment, PFTC, and Showtime. The three judges scoring this next bout will be Bill Graham, Dick Houck, and Paul Smith, and your referee in charge is Jay Nady. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner. He entered the ring wearing a red, white, and green trunks, and he weighed in at the super middleweight limit of 168 pounds. He has an outstanding professional record with 18 victories, only 1 defeat, with 15 big wins by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Mexican super middleweight champion from Navajoa, Sonora, Mexico, Esteban Camou. And the opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the tiger print trunks, and he also weighed in the same as his opponent, 168 pounds. He is undefeated as a professional with 19 victories, no losses, 13 wins by knockout. From Massillon, Ohio, here is the 2000 U.S. National Amateur Champion, introducing Tony the Tiger Hanshaw.
Do you have any questions? Nope. Obey my command. Heads to us now. Good luck. Let's go to work.
Okay. Round one now. Our second fight of the night. Who moves to join the rest in the final four of this tournament? And look at Rocky Camou as advertised. Boy, he's got the short shorts on, Steve. Maybe he'll try to make it a short night.
Old school.
He does. Anthony Hanshaw, definitely a boxer. Very good quickness, and he's got to use it tonight. John Russell in his corner wants him to try to control behind that jab, and Rocky Camou said, I promise you, I will be coming forward. He's going to split those short. Those are the tightest things I've ever seen, Steve.
I think they belong to a Mexican heavyweight.
Well, what a difference in the pace. Remember, this is all super middleweights. Compare this to the caution we saw in our first fight tonight, Bunting and Herrera. This is Camou on the right and Anthony Hanshaw in the tiger stripes.
This graphic showing Hanshaw's experience, it's kind of misleading because you see Hanshaw, same numbers, but he turned pro way before Camou, and he had those two-year layoffs.
Oh, what a pace on this fight already. Anthony Hanshaw, quality sparring, Steve. He worked with Winky Wright, Rico Hoy, had about 70 rounds of real good sparring for this, so no excuses.
Yeah, and don't forget Hanshaw in 2000 was actually the favorite to make the Olympic team. Jermaine Taylor beat him out.
So far, Camou coming forward. We haven't seen the power arrive, but you know, his defense isn't bad. He's not just a weighed-in, face-first slugger. Boy, Camou just forcing Hanshaw to fight. That's the perfect strategy, Steve, I would think. Of course, you don't want to just follow him around the ring, but now it's in the center of the ring. So each guy trying to taste the punches of the other and see what the other guy has. And here comes Camou. Good double hook from Hanshaw. He sees the openings when Camou doesn't fire. Anthony, Tony the Tiger, is content to take the lead with that straight right, followed by the cleanup left hook.
Well, I'll tell you this, Nick, if Anthony Hanshaw can back up Camou, the fight might be over.
Absolutely
right. Now, he's standing on a dime fighting.
Hanshaw, very quick, good mover. And what a work rate by both guys here in the first. But he could fight inside, and he's looking to close the gap a little bit here, but my guess would be his corner, John Russell, would want him to just keep boxing and outbox this guy. There he tried to run him into a shot there, and with Camou not firing anything, Hanshaw once again made him pay with a little quick combination.
Nick, just to finish that thought, talking about Hanshaw in the Olympic trials in 2000, his dad died in an accident, was electrocuted just before he fought Jermaine Taylor.
Stop!
A tragic situation, and not only, you know, that obviously affected him fighting Jermaine Taylor, but some of those two-year layoffs that he had very much affected by his dad who fought about a fight.
He says he is back and focused and hungry again. Good left hook for him, so he knows how to counter, closing out the first round. Big one for Hanshaw.
All right, good round. Good round. Good round. Good round. You're starting to settle down, right? You feel good? Yeah. Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Nice and relaxed. Relax, T. That's it. Give me some brief breaths. There you go. Nice. Now step the jab a little more, okay? I want you to you start establishing your jab. All right, watch his head inside. All right, then when he comes to you, right, shoot. Either
Más golpecitos, que no lo que crezca para nada. ¿Oíste? No lo quiero que crezca para nada. Ok, adentro. Ándale pues, vamos.
Come in straight.
Vamos, dale agua. Ahorita viene tu tiempo. Respire. Hay mucha condición, Carlos. Necesitas tirar 3-4 golpes. 3-4 golpes. No le dejes la iniciativa. Tienes que estar adentro de él.
Cuando tira el jab, tira tu volado derecha, arriba a la derecha.
¿Estamos?
Acompáñalo.
Tranquilo.
Use that jab. Use that jab. Let's go. Mirrored instructions from both corners. Use the jab, work behind it. I've never had a problem with that kind of strategy, Steve.
Well, it makes sense for Camou because as a pressure fighter, you're always going to be more effective if you lead with the jab. The other guy doesn't see the follow-up punches. It allows you to get the range you want also.
So he just ate a couple of them there because Hanshaw flashing the hand speed, not waiting around. Camou trying to turn, trying to get in, but getting run into another shot. So Anthony Hanshaw exhibiting lightning quickness here, good hand speed, getting off first. And boy, Camou right inside, and he seemed to pull up on that left of the body. He had a wide open target. Hanshaw really working, able to fight backing up, create distance there, and then still fight quick. Get in, then get out.
Nick, did you notice Camou, and I'm not saying this as a joke, he was sort of, handling his trunks when he came back to the corner as if he was uncomfortable. We make fun of his trunks, how tight they are, but they lowered them, and you could see a little bit of his protective cup exposed. I think his trunks are so tight that they were actually bothering him.
Oh, well.
I'd say 3-1. I'll give you 3-1. Those trunks split at some point, right?
Oh, Hanshaw just turning Camou. He's just so much quicker than him. And both guys, believe me, in my opinion, Camou not slow by any means for a 168-pound guy. And up on his toes, not just plodding in by any means, waiting in, as you hear of a lot of sluggers. And Camou saying, bring it on, bring it on. And Hanshaw fighting wisely. Real good controlled aggression, inside out, lots of feints. Countering there with the jab, not having to necessarily be first. So Hanshaw looking like the complete package here early.
Well, he's using lateral movement very nicely because he continually changes the angle that he punches from and that Camou has to punch from.
Just did it there, exactly. Moving over, firing the right. Now a little burst of firepower inside. Nothing real serious. He didn't hurt Camou, but he scored points. Camou not able to get off once he's inside here. Takes those on the gloves. Not really able to generate any kind of power.
Now that was a nice move, nice spin move off the ropes by Tony Hanshaw. Camou finally got in close where he wanted to be, and Hanshaw just disappeared. Not the case now with Camou on the ropes.
But Hanshaw hasn't missed a beat, Steve. He knows when to trade, knows when to stay inside like that. He's backing up Camou.
He got hit by a nice left hook there by Camou, who's very anxious to rumble.
But Hanshaw not afraid to fight inside.
Yeah, Hanshaw's got to be careful, not to trade too much because he's had offensive success. It's tempting to try to get rid of your guy when you feel you can hit him with everything.
Well, that's sort of fighting quick that I love about him. Punch and get out.
Time!
2 rounds, it's been all Hanshaw.
There you go. Now you're working. Look for that right uppercut inside, all right? That right uppercut's right there, okay? Nice and relaxed.
Well, that's your problem.
Nice and relaxed, nice and relaxed.
You don't count.
Man,
Nice
looks
and
familiar.
relaxed,
That's
okay?
John Russell in the corner of Buster Douglas throughout
All right,
his
here we go,
career.
Ken.
Was in Tokyo orchestrating the upset of Mike Tyson back in
Yeah.
1990.
All right, baby. All right, now you see what it does with the jab? All right, you can
Action
shoot the
from
right.
round 2. Camou looking to get in. He does. And look what happens. Watch Tony Hanshaw, gone. Okay, fighters look kind of foolish there because Camou's getting ready to punch and his opponent is behind him already. That's what foot speed and good movement and instinct will do for you.
Adentro. Usted lo golpeó ahorita y lo lastimó, ¿eh? ¿Lo vio? Órale pues, vámonos. Vámonos, adentro de él, adentro de él.
Let's go. Jay Nady has refereed over 130 title fights. Like we said last week, you go to Vegas, you get real quality in the third man in. And Nady's one of them. He's been with us on Showbox before. Anthony Hanshaw fits and starts to his career, but says he is ready and to really put it in gear here and win this tournament and go on to big things. And once again, that's the whole purpose here. Anybody who comes out of this in 3 fights in 6 months victoriously, a great shot at being a top 10 contender in the division, Steve.
Indeed, and you know, we had to make Hanshaw one of the favorites going in because of what he had done before those layoffs. Is it fair to question his commitment to boxing, though? That's the thing. And, you know, if things get tough in there, I mean, as an amateur, he was a top guy. But if he gets pushed in this thing, we'll see. And I'm sure at some point he will get pushed.
Well, not a lot of adversity for either guy. Camou didn't know how to handle that cut against Jorge Boy Campos and became a little unglued in his only loss. But he's never been off his feet. Hanshaw in his 19 fights has scored 13 knockouts, so he could punch a little. But he could sure box here as he again is making the play in this 3rd round, having it mostly his way. And it's Camou looking to walk in again and take what Hanshaw has, but really not firing when he's in a combat zone like now.
I talked earlier about Hanshaw having to be dominant with his left hand if he's going to be successful tonight. It's a little bit difficult for him to get the jab in because Camou's pretty good at keeping his gloves up when Hanshaw punches.
He is. There's a right lead from Camou, but sloppy. Didn't land, and a nice left hook counter from Hanshaw. He tries again, but that time Camou covered up. Straight right lands from Camou, so maybe that's the ticket. Camou trying to jump in, covering up well, taking some shots on the forearms. And, oh, nice right hand as Hanshaw turned and brought it on to Camou. Another right, threading the needle up the middle, trying for the uppercuts now, so it's Hanshaw coming forward seriously. Short left hook lands.
Camou saying, come forward, Tony Hanshaw. Meanwhile, he's backing up.
Absolutely, and it's Hanshaw backing him up. Razor sharp jab from him. Nice counter right hand as he timed that lazy looping outside uppercut from Camou. So Hanshaw looking again, complete package here. Hanshaw using the ring beautifully.
Stop!
Warning from Jay Nady to Camou to keep the punches up. What a pace to this fight. We sail through the 3rd round, and it's been wall-to-wall Anthony Hanshaw.
Ahí está tu gente, ahí está tu gente, cabrón. Ahí está tu gente,
Okay.
Ahí está tu gente, cabrón.
Relax. Estoy viendo el rojo, quiero que está creciendo. Quiero ver ese rojo. ¿Cuál tiene más golpes ahorita?
Así, ya.
That's it now.
Dámelo así, yo no sé. Tienes más fuerte que él, cabrón.
Estás sobrado tú, estás sobrado de
¿Oíste?
Sí, pártase la madre.
La gente está contigo, la gente está contigo. Pártale la madre así contigo.
Está contigo, quiero que te levantes.
Vámonos. Tienes que te quedar más fuerte. Más fuerte, cerca de él. ¿Estás oyendo?
Action from round 3. And Hanshaw landing aggressively to the point where Camou felt the need to back up. And I said it earlier, I'll say it again, if Camou backs up in this fight, he's got no chance of winning.
You heard anything yet?
I don't think he wants to.
We start the 4th here in Las Vegas. Anthony Hanshaw in the tiger stripe trunks dominating this fight against Rocky Camou, who has not solved the problem that Hanshaw's ever-changing angles and quickness has presented, let alone his punching power. He's been very solid, very good connect rate, not wasting much of anything. There, doubling up with the hook and following with the straight right hand. It's enough to knock Camou off stride and prevent him from ever getting in any kind of an offensive rhythm, Steve.
It's the movement and foot speed, that's for sure.
And making him think twice about walking in that way as he gets clipped on the way in.
Yeah, that's where the left-handed comes in.
Hanshaw double jab. The second one lands. So a great idea to just keep throwing. Really impressed with Hanshaw's ability to, again, be first or counter. His anticipation, beautiful, Steve.
I'm not seeing Camou lead with the jab the way his corner wants him to.
Can't understand why he's right in close, we've been walking, and then does nothing.
Camou's trainer, Manuel Montiel Sr., that's the father of the former 115-pound champ, Fernando Montiel, who's a real skilled little fighter. And Camou not showing the same boxing ability.
Oh, he's doing nothing when he's inside. Very, very little. Like here. Just waiting. Is he looking to counter with a right hand? But Hanshaw's not there. Great head movement. Upper body movement from Hanshaw to just stay out of danger as a shot whistles by him. But Steve, as you said, no need to get careless. He's outboxing him convincingly, isn't he?
He is, and you know, you have to remember, only 6 rounds of boxing for Hanshaw since July 2004. Right now he looks good. Let's see what happens as we come down the stretch. Let's see if Camou can start applying pressure and landing some shots, and let's see if Hanshaw tires. But Nick, I think Hanshaw in this tournament is the type of fighter, you better get him out of there fast and early in the tournament, because with some rounds under his belt, he's going to be that much tougher.
I'm with you. Camou asking Hanshaw to go first, and he obliges. Nothing coming back from the Mexican. Again, Hanshaw setting pace. Punching when he wants, moving when he wants, fighting quick again. Rapid fire there, combination. It's open again, and Hanshaw goes for it because Camou is putting nothing together and eating lots of punches.
Time!
Hey, ¿qué pasó contigo? ¿Qué pasó contigo?
¿Qué pasó contigo, pues, cabrón?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Órale, pues, adentro. Adentro,
let's
ya,
go.
ya no
You're
quiero...
gonna punt.
¿Oíste? Órale, pues,
Listen to
adentro,
me.
cabrón. Vámonos.
Let's
No
go.
quiero ya nada adentro, cabrón. O no quiero que te noqueen, cabrón.
You're not
Ok,
throwing, you gotta throw.
No quiero que te noqueen, pero haga caso, haga por su lucha, haga por su tiempo. Acuérdate de su bebé, cabrón. Acuérdate de su niño.
Use that
Ahí
right.
viene camino, cabrón. ¿Oíste? Órale, pues,
Listen
vámonos
to
arriba.
me.
Vámonos, cabrón. Vámonos arriba, vámonos.
Come on, let's go. Get up.
Vámonos.
Come on,
Arriba,
up.
arriba.
Let's go. Get up.
A tirar golpes, cabrones. A tirar golpecitos. ¿Oyó? Órale,
I want you to be
vámonos.
ready.
No sé por qué tiene que tirar. Tire muchos golpes. Abajo y arriba, muchos.
Throw a lot of punches.
Y listo. Vámonos, pues.
Let's go.
Poor guy gets beaten around in the fourth round, 4 rounds, and then gets slapped by his trainer.
Looks like what you do to me in our fighter meeting.
No, snap out of it. No, I don't have to do that to you. You know that. But really, it's true. Camou has to snap out of it, Steve. It's as if he's afraid to commit.
Yeah, and something we should point out, watching him in the corner there, you see he has a twitch. Well, that's not, you know, any kind of physical problem related to the fight, because we saw that yesterday during the fighter meetings as well.
Good point. But again, there's no commitment there. He certainly can't match Hanshaw's hand speed, but once he's inside, we don't see the counters come firing back. No jab from Camou of any kind of authority, and Hanshaw is willing to just poke right through. Hanshaw doing a great job just creating some openings, I think. Just an excellent job.
And Hanshaw is clearly not concerned about power punching. He's, you know, even his hooks and his crosses, he's just touching the guy. You know, he's scoring points. He's not worried about trying to get him out of there.
Hanshaw inside there, digs the uppercut. Low, he got clipped with a little left hook, but not much on it. And Camou
Stop!
warned to keep him up.
Too lows. Keep the punches up.
Good moment, though, for Camou, because for the first time he got in close and Hanshaw didn't slide out of the way. As we start looking at the second half of this fight, it's fair to ask whether Hanshaw is going to slow down.
It's also fair to ask Camou, talk about his style, doesn't necessarily make him a big KO puncher, certainly, because he doesn't look like he has the kind of crushing power to me.
Yeah, I agree. Much more of a pressure fighter and volume puncher.
Right, so good right hand from Hanshaw as he continues to show angles, continues to turn, and really control range and pace of this fight. And the pace has been hot. It's the way he wants it. Camou not knowing what to do. Hands are up. Keeps his elbows in to block those body shots, but he is not generating offense. Hanshaw content to get off and get out again.
very little on Hanshaw's punches. I mean, very little. I'm surprised. I don't know if that's fatigue.
A little left hand from Camou landed. Hanshaw elects not to hold on. Nady breaks him up. Hanshaw trying to dial in from a distance with the jab. He'll move out now. Flurry again, but he's really squared up. And Camou not making him swallow enough shots. See, I don't think Camou's landed a dozen clean shots in this fight.
He hasn't. His only hope here is that Hanshaw slows down. If Hanshaw slows down, Camou's pressure will get to him, and he'll have some punching opportunities. I'm trying to see if Hanshaw's hands drop. Right now, they're pretty high. He's still moving very well.
But as you said just there, with a little soft combination, not a lot of leverage on those shots.
How we doing? All right? All right? All right, relax. Now relax. Relax. I want you to keep your hands up. Good balance, okay? Don't fall over. You got the guy. He can't get away from your jab. Now just start working off your jab, all right? If he's going too much in the thing up there, jab him in the chest.
John Russell doing the talking there in Hanshaw's corner. He is the man who guided Buster Douglas to the heavyweight championship. And here we see Douglas today, that epic win in Tokyo. I was there. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Well, were you about one of what, a dozen American?
Nobody bothered to show up.
42-1, baby.
And John Russell hasn't changed. It tells Hanshaw what he needs to hear and not what he wants to hear.
Just boxes.
And he's got to be committed because, as you said, he's had a tendency to drift in his pro career.
Hey, Chris!
But he is extremely focused in this through 5. And may I ask how you have it as if I don't know?
You know. 5-0, 50-45 for Tony Hanshaw. But now, Nick, we're in the second half of the fight. I think back to one of Hanshaw's breakthrough wins before those layoffs against Etienne Whitaker. He dominated that fight, did real well. Then he slowed down at the end. We're going to see if that happens again because he's been only 6 rounds since 2004.
Stinging right hand from Hanshaw. But smart. He didn't see another opening there, and he backed off. So that was a good right hand. Now a left hook as Camou has dropped his gloves twice, and Hanshaw will do a little bit more head hunting there, but now he'll bend low and try to shoot that uppercut. But he's drilled Camou with a couple of shots and made him think twice about trying to generate anything. Camou just can't deal with Hanshaw's speed. And as you said, Steve, as long as he keeps that work rate up, he's going to be really tough to catch.
Well, as hard as it is for Camou, you know, he's been outboxed badly for 5 rounds. He's just got to turn it up if he wants to win. It's his only chance.
Steve, he's been 12 a couple of times. You made a great point about him, Mexican champions. When you think of them, you think these are formidable guys. But given the weight class, it's not the same as looking at a 122-pound Mexican champ.
Exactly. I mean, once you go past about welterweight, there have not been that many Mexican world champs. Yuri Boy Campos was 154, as you mentioned, but being the Mexican super middle champ is not the same as being the Mexican bantamweight champ.
Camou has promised to be exciting, and he's got to make it a war. Hesitating. Nothing with the jab there. Hanshaw not being challenged here, just looking to create an opening and doing it with movement.
When's the last time we saw Camou lead with his jab as he comes in?
Well, I saw him whiff with it a couple of times. Hanshaw able to fight backing up as he whizzes another jab, tries the little right hand. But you're right, Steve, not a lot of power to Hanshaw. But enough to keep Camou off him.
One thing Hanshaw does really well, Nick, when he jabs, and you'll see it periodically here, when he jabs, steps to the side a little bit, or he steps back. That makes him very hard to counter.
Good point.
And if he stops doing it, he's going to get countered.
Boy, Camou's corner just befuddled by, they just can't understand. Exasperated, really, like what's wrong with their guy? He get it going at all.
What's wrong with that guy is Tony Hanshaw.
Oh, stop it. Go back to the corner. Go back over there.
That's great. Jay Nady, just stop it.
El cabrón se cortó. Vamos, nomás lo cortaste, nomás lo tiraste, lo cortaste.
Look bad.
Cabrón. Sí, man, hijo. Vamos perdiendo esta pinche pelea, mijo. Vamos perdiendo esta pelea.
Well, let's go.
Estamos perdiendo esta pelea. ¿Oíste? Ya está cortado.
You're losing this fight.
Adentro. Y lo cortaste con golpe, jodido, Adentro.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. You got a box now, T. You got a box.
Yeah, don't go inside. I got you.
All right. I told you he's buttoning, and then Jay come over here and give us all kinds of shit about it.
Yeah. That's what I was complaining. That's what I was complaining about earlier. Yeah, butting.
I will. Here. You get his mouthpiece?
Gotta go. You about to take it off now?
I'm going to get it off.
Manuel Montiel in the corner telling Rocky Camou what he needs to hear, but not exactly telling him how to do it. You're losing the fight.
Losing the fight, but he's drawn some blood over the right eye of Hanshaw. Hanshaw's corner saying it was a putt. And the doctor did take a look.
You got to hope it won't let Hanshaw want to just play keep away in this fight. He certainly has a comfortable lead. And naturally, he shouldn't get careless, and he could box this guy all night, it appears.
Well, that's what he needs to do. And, you know, in tournaments, it's all about survive and advance. And if he has to use his legs over the last three or four rounds, you know, that's the right thing to do.
Here comes Camou with this fight falling into a familiar pattern. He has no ability to change up. He can't match Hanshaw's speed by any means, and he hasn't been able to solve him and neutralize him with that advertised power. Or aggression, we should say. Big difference.
One other point from Camou's perspective. Granted, as you pointed out, Nick, he's only landed, you know, half a dozen big power shots in this fight, but nothing to the body. Now, he hasn't been in close much, granted, but a little body punching would certainly slow Anthony Hanshaw down as well.
Which is what he said he would do, and he just stood there and got clocked with a right hand from Hanshaw. And Camou told us that. That's one of the first things he wanted to do, is take away this guy's legs. As you said, it hasn't happened. That cut could be a bit of a problem, Hanshaw's right eye, but Camou looks tired now, missing badly, hopelessly out of position. Hanshaw playing it safe as Camou stalks and walks and follows him around the ring. But Steve, even if he cuts him off, it's not as if he knows what to do.
He looks like he'd only be effective against a stationary target. He's just not getting one. And then the side, Nick, Rocky Camou, college graduate. That's amazing, especially for a Mexican fighter, because they turn pro usually so young.
Right.
And he's getting taken to school here, though, isn't he?
Oh, a little left hook from Hanshaw landed. Still fire the jab right down the middle. Content to stay in the pocket and drive Camou back with a combination. Camou walking and covering up as we close out the seventh here in Las Vegas. We're back Friday night, October 6th, live from Santa Ynez, California, with the final four of our super middleweight tournament. The four fighters who made it out of the first round will meet in the doubleheader, with the winners then moving on to fight for the tournament championship January 5th. Action begins October 6th, 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, here on Showtime.
I got this. I got this.
Use your jab. Double up on your jab. Paint the jab, shoot your right hand, but keep your distance. That's the important thing, man.
What is it you're using?
Vaseline.
That's Vaseline?
Yeah.
Because number one.
Let's go, guys. Let's go with that off, please.
Yeah, all right. Okay. You got the mouthpiece, Kenny.
On the right there, Kenny Adams has trained world champions. He's helping out Russell in the corner of Anthony Hanshaw. Now Camou getting clearly more aggressive. Needs a wake-up call. He's been slapped by his own trainer, just trying to snap him out of it. Nothing's worked so far. He stands ramrod straight. Hands held high and the elbows in, but not, again, putting anything together offensively to pose a real threat to Anthony Hanshaw.
And the reason he's putting nothing together offensively, Nick, one, the jab's been in his face. Two, Hanshaw's feet are quicker. He's changing the angles. It's very hard to punch at nothing.
Steve, how about at least trying to punch with the guy, even if you get beat to the punch, and maybe you counter that jab, but jab with him.
Well, that's been missing, and that's always a critical component for any pressure fighter.
So Camou unable to work behind anything to close the gap and then do any damage once he's inside, because Hanshaw is spinning out of any trouble and turning the fight into, looks like a low blow there, belt line anyway.
See, Hanshaw is a rhythm fighter. He can throw that left hand out there. Remember, he's a natural left-hander who fights as a righty. So that left hand is both strong and quick and developed. And he fights well in a rhythm where Camou doesn't. Camou has to be set to punch. And look at that, Hanshaw grabbing and pushing off, negating any chance Camou has of fighting on the inside.
Camou following, not firing. So he's getting shut out in this fight, and his punch volume is not half of what Hanshaw's is. As if he really stopped believing a while back that he could win this fight. But it's becoming apparent he's almost in a fight he can't win.
Yeah, he looks discouraged. His right eye is swelling underneath. That's from all the jabs.
Hanshaw able to always make that move. Those angles are working perfectly, and he's in great position to reload. Right there. Camou just standing in front, waiting to be clocked, and Hanshaw really didn't exploit that. Hanshaw's hands down low because he knows that Camou's coming with nothing.
And Camou, interesting, he's really a straight-up fighter, isn't he? He doesn't bend at the knees at all.
Exactly.
He'd be much more effective slipping the jab if he bent at the knees a little bit.
Try that hook, perhaps, that we really haven't seen all night. He had a decent right hand and maybe one or two hooks that landed as we close out the eighth here in a fight that's developed a definite pattern. Anthony Hanshaw, start to finish. A boxing exhibition.
Vamos.
Pre-core, baby. That pre-core. I'm in shape.
Come on.
I'm in shape.
Use your jab. Be cool now. Act pro. Act like a fucking pro.
So John Russell reining in Anthony Hanshaw, who seems to get another burst of adrenaline. It'd be nice to finish out these last two rounds even stronger. But John Russell doesn't want him to get careless. There's no need. Now Camou definitely pumps up the approach. It's strictly a stumble. Camou, a little swelling under the left eye. Result of those kind of shots there. Nice uppercut, and Hanshaw jumps on him now. And Camou back against the ropes, trying to fight off the ropes. And getting clocked with punch after punch here. Flurries from Hanshaw as he tries to set him up again, pushing him away to create a little distance. And now those uppercuts are slicing through. Nady taking a good look to see if Camou will fire back, and he does.
Well, I talked earlier about how Hanshaw was happy to just touch Camou. That was not the case. In that flurry, we saw the power of Anthony Hanshaw there.
And the pleasure to see that he didn't want to just ride this one home, which he could have easily done. As he jumps on Camou once again in front of us. Camou fighting off the ropes with a single left that has Hanshaw drift back and restart. And look at Hanshaw's feet as he just continues to move and put this fight exactly where he wants it in his 20-foot ring at all times.
Yeah, he's taking a little breather. He took his shot at getting a stoppage win. It didn't happen. He softened his guy up a little more. He knows he's way ahead, so he's just content to box and move a little bit now. The right thing to do.
Here we see Hanshaw again, opening up. Beautiful round from him. A good offensive burst.
He saw that Camou left hook coming from way far away. It was telegraphed, and he did the right thing. He counterpunched beautifully, something we have not seen Camou do at all in this fight.
Hanshaw moving left, now right, just feint, showing different looks, and Camou just trying to track him down, but basically following Hanshaw around the ring. And then he gets in close and smothers his own power. There's an uppercut from Camou, but very little else. Hanshaw will almost push him back with that left to line up a right. Big ninth round from Anthony Hanshaw.
Action from round 9. Anthony Hanshaw putting a punctuation point on this fight. And now you see Camou. Hanshaw knows at this point he's got a chance for a stoppage. You see nothing coming back from Camou. No holding. He tries to hold here. Sorry, I'm pushing you off.
Last round.
And how is that for camera work? Left hand started the whole deal for Anthony Hanshaw. And he went for it here. You see full leverage. You see he's biting down on that mouthpiece, digging his feet into the ground, going for that knockout. He landed some big shots. To Camou's credit, he's still here.
Now we box. Now we give him a boxing lesson, all right?
Good advice, and boy, Steve, you know how I always talk about you want a guy not to
Finish
take any
with the
risk,
hook, Tony.
but you
Finish
want
with
a
the
guy to finish with conviction, and to see Hanshaw open up that way was a pleasure.
Sure was. I gave him a 10-8 round. I don't care that there was no knockdown. That was a far more decisive round than the previous 8 had been.
Camou has never been off his feet, but he has been schooled start to finish in this fight, and Hanshaw set the pace, controlled the range, and had it his way. John Russell wants Hanshaw to keep moving, stay out of danger, and not run into anything foolish. And Camou's got to get desperate here, and doesn't even seem to know how to do that.
Well, Hanshaw's showing us why he was such a top prospect from the class of 2000. He's showing us why a lot of people thought he'd make the final, if not win this tournament. And you know, with these 10 rounds under his belt, Nick, he's going to be that much tougher, because he'd been very inactive, and this was a good workout. He was under pressure here, didn't get hit much because Camou didn't punch much. But this was a very, very critical 10 rounds in the development of Tony Hanshaw.
Absolutely was. The only pressure Camou was under was not to keep his pants from splitting, I think, tonight. He has done very little, told us we would love his style of aggression, but not being afraid to make it close and to mix it up and to make it a brawl, and knowing what to do to effectively win a fight that way are two different things, and Camou has been clueless in this fight.
Well, you know, you often hear cornermen say cut off the ring or jab with him. Well, you know, if you're slower, it's not so easy to do, and Camou is slower via hand and foot as compared to Hanshaw. It's, you know, you get the impression watching him as he measures his guys that he thinks if he punches, he's punching it air.
And he is, for the most part, and as you said, that's the movement of Anthony Hanshaw. Not only his hand quickness, but the movement. He's just not there.
Camou's shown a lot of heart, but not much else.
Skill levels vastly different here. And again, Steve, the shakeout. This is what the first round is. We started with 8. We'll be down to 4 in a matter of seconds. Anthony Hanshaw, it is a boxing exhibition here in the 10th, but he hasn't been afraid to get inside. He's tasted what Rocky Camou has, and nothing really to threaten him all night.
In this fight, Nick, and it happened in early rounds, I remember maybe 2 shots Camou landed that had anything, a left hook, maybe another left hook. That was it, the whole fight, 2 shots.
So it would be 100 to 90 on most scorecards, and you make it 189.
Exactly.
We will see. It's over except for making it official. Anthony Hanshaw loving what he's done. And Rocky Camou happy to be here and finish on his feet.
Good fighter, man. How you doing? Fine. Good. ¿No hay cut? No. Apenas empezaba lo mío, chingado. Apenas empezaba. Me corrió mucho el negro. You see that? No me cansé nunca, chingado. Un saludo a mi tierra, Obregón. Elsa otra vez. Mis saludos.
Camou acting like he was happy to be here rather than here to win it.
The story of these 10 rounds, Anthony Hanshaw's boxing skills, his superior speed of both hand and foot, and also, let's not underrate his discipline, because he showed a lot of focus here. He hasn't been in the ring much. He stayed away from inside confrontation. He used both hands. His jab was dominant. And you know what? There really wasn't much coming back. So he was able to pick his spots, and he was never in danger. You see in the 9th round there, he went for the stoppage. He didn't get it. But it's good to know that in round 9 for a fighter who's been inactive, he was able to turn it up the way he did and put the punctuation mark on this win.
Suspense, there is none, but a convincing win, that there is. But let's let Jake Gutierrez make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges, Bill Graham, Dick Houck, and Paul Smith, scored about the same, 100 to 90. All for the winner by unanimous decision, and he is still undefeated, Tony the Tiger